Do you want a game on a PC and you want it to be built with your own hand? I'm going to give you some tips and tricks in this video that I wish I knew when I built my first PC about a year ago now. The PC I built is in a Hyatt Y60 case. It's got a 3070 Ti. It's got a Ryzen 7. It has Corsair fans everywhere, a Corsair LCD cooler. The cooler I have in it is a Corsair H150i Elite LCD XT. It's 125 millimeter fans and a 360 millimeter radiator, which is for water cooling. And I love the screen. Here's some shots of it. I love changing that thing. So far, Vegeta on the background where he's going, I think he's turning to a Super Saiyan Blue, is one of my favorite little memes to have up there. There's one regret I have about building this PC that we're going to get into a little bit later, so make sure you stick around. And if you're liking this video, make sure to smash that like button. Do it now. And the subscribe button. Okay? It really helps. Just be nice, please. You guys are nice. I'm just kidding. Okay, first tip is it's not as hard as it seems. Don't be intimidated. Building a PC is not that hard. The most scary part is probably when you put the CPU in, because that is the easiest messed up. But it's pretty, just really pay attention. Take your time. Look at the bottom. Look at the top. Look at the inside of the motherboard. Look at where you're putting it. Slow down. You'll be fine. And most of all, you got to enjoy it, okay? Just kick back, enjoy building your PC, because you're going to have this for a while. That leads perfectly into my second tip, which is I want you to use one of two websites. I'll tell you which one I prefer a little bit later on, but I think you'll be able to tell in just a few minutes. There's PC Part Picker, a great website. Link is in the description down below for you to go and build your own PC. It helps you understand which parts are not compatible. This website has helped tons of people build PCs. It's a little bit on the more advanced side, I feel like, at least when you use it. All that it does is like flags, hey, these aren't compatible. And then you gotta, which one do I take off? Should I take the motherboard off or should I take the chipset off? If you don't know that it matters which chipset. Right. I also want to reiterate, if you have never built a PC before, you've never owned a PC, I would go the pre-built route with NZXT or... Okay, so I'm going to take you on to PC Part Picker and we're going to build our first PC. I don't think I'm going to go super in-depth and build every single part. I just kind of want to show you the basics of the website. I'm going to show you my favorite website, which is Newegg's PC Builder. So... we're going to go with start your build. You select your CPU here. First thing you need to do on any PC build is make sure you pick whether you want AMD or Intel. There are tons of differences, not a whole lot. The big thing to know the difference between Intel and AMD, and what I've heard and what I understand, I'm no PC expert, okay? AMD handles multitasking pretty well, so streaming and gaming and that kind of stuff, AMDs perform a little bit better than Intel, but Intel performs overall better. But the cost of an AMD versus an Intel, there's a huge price difference, $345. So an Intel build is going to be a little bit more expensive. You select which one you want and you add from selection, and then here you'll have a Ryzen. Now, I'm surprised it makes you pick the CPU first and then a cooler. Like if you follow this order, I feel like CPUs first makes sense. I don't know why CPU cooler is the next thing, because I would want to make sure I'm able to pick a compatible motherboard. Now, the thing, I haven't used PC Part Picker in a while. I'll explain why Newegg is my favorite in a little bit. These look like they are all the correct motherboard. You know by this chipset right here, this AM. That's the socket for the chip, and the way you'd know is on the CPU page, it would say AM5 socket set. That's how you know that these go together. So you can even get descriptions. You'll look at prices from different websites. It's all pretty much the same price. You can even buy this stuff off Amazon most of the time. I would be careful with Amazon though, because a lot of people buy and resell. So just be cautious that you might get gypped. So that has happened to people in the past. I'm not saying it's going to happen every time, but if you do buy it, make sure it comes from reputable, like the store you're buying it from is like a real legit store. It's not just Barnes and Cows selling motherboards. It should be something like, Gigabyte. Gigabyte is selling this B650 Aorus Elite. Okay, I'll buy that. Like I said, I'm not going to go full in-depth on here. Let's select the motherboard, though. I'm just going to pick one. I just want to see what happens. Yeah, see, right here. This is why I don't like PC Part Picker, because it said, warning, these parts have a potential issues or incompatibilities. Why'd you let me select it then? And then it gets kind of confusing. Like if you're not familiar with PCs and stuff, some physical dimensions constraints are currently not checked, such as CPU coolers and RAM clearance. Warning, the AMD Ryzen 7 7800X 3D 4.2 blah 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 does not include a stock CPU cooler. That's not a problem. Why are you flagging that? So let me just add this one. Does that get rid of the error? So see, compatibility goes away. It's just, there's some things about this website that sometimes drive me nuts. And if you're new to PC building, it could be overwhelming. You're like, oh my God, will it work? Because you're about to spend at least like $1,500 for a pretty good PC. I mean, you can spend around $1,000 and still make an all right PC. But I'd say if you want one that's going to last for quite a while, $1,500 is the baseline. You're going to spend that kind of money and this thing's throwing errors. I don't want it. The second option is going to Newegg. Newegg is a place where it is a PC office supply. It even has some toys. Yeah, and drones and all that kind of stuff. Wow, look at that. Some like 3D models. All right, back to doing the normal thing. ADHD's real. Anyways, right on the top of the page, you're going to see PC Builder underneath the search bar. You're going to click that. It's going to take you to this page. Now, I've linked this right here down in the description down below. My PC was just over 2,000, and I mean, it's been running like a champ for a year straight, running like crazy. Okay, so the way you're going to start here, you could even build a computer with AI. I haven't done that. I'm not going to do it today. I don't think I'm going to get too in-depth with this either. I'm just going to kind of show you why I like Newegg better than PC Part Picker. So I built one before. So we're just going to hit start a new build. That's the other thing. If you log in, you can save this computer and it's free to log in and create an account. So you can filter, you can search, just a few tips on both AMD and Intel. Use a numbering system, and they're both on the same. So i7 is on par with a Ryzen 7. Those are the same chips. They're on the same level. They're comparable. But you have to look at this longer number, which I'm no expert in that. But I like to look at the cores. That's going to help you a lot. You can also go to websites and look at the performance. I would spend some money on two things: your motherboard and your CPU, because those are really hard to upgrade. If you're going to spend money on anything, don't do it on a graphics card. Your first bit out, I'm telling you. So I want tip number 3. We're going to get back into this, but I want to do this now before I forget. Tip number 3 is where to spend your money. There's going to be 2 places, in my opinion, that you need to put more money into. All the other stuff in your PC is upgradable really easy. The 2 that are harder to upgrade is your CPU and your motherboard. So those are the 2 things, and it's the mistake I made with this PC. I spent more on the graphics card and the RAM and the fans and the cooler when I should have spent more money on the CPU up front. Buy the CPU you feel like you need for whatever it is you're doing. If you're gaming, I'd say an i7 or an i9. Those are the 2 that probably going to perform the best. If you're streaming and gaming at the same time, I've heard AMD does better on multitasking. So a Ryzen 7 or a Ryzen 9 is going to be your best bet. And then I would spend some extra money on your motherboard, making sure it has Wi-Fi and also making sure it has Bluetooth. because I didn't really care about the Wi-Fi because I was always going to hardline this PC in, but I forgot about Bluetooth, and usually they're a chipset together, like they're on the same card, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Now I have to plug in controllers when I want to play certain games that I like controllers with. Think about where you're spending your money. Those are my two places: CPU, motherboard. Remember that. Okay, back to building a PC. Just real quick, go over a few things. Now I'm an AMD guy. I like AMD a little bit more, mostly because they're cheaper most of the time. Now, here's the thing about Newegg versus PC Part Picker I don't like is PC Part Picker does give you an options list of where to buy them. So sometimes they're cheaper on Amazon, sometimes they're cheaper on Newegg, sometimes they're cheaper on some third-party website. And PC Part Picker does a good job of like giving you credible websites. They don't just give you nothing and creepy websites. But you're gonna go in, you're gonna hit select on this side. I'm going to build an Intel build. Let's see. The most expensive CPU, $576. $576. That's a lot of money, man, for a CPU. Let's go with the i7. I feel like this is going to do good. i7. I like it. All right. Now select the motherboard. And now what's nice about Newegg, you have absolutely zero worry about selecting any of the wrong stuff. Because once you select the CPU, it will not let you select the wrong motherboard. It won't let you select the wrong case. It won't fit. If it doesn't fit, it won't let you pick it. So let's spend some money here, $269. Now, money doesn't always mean the best, but usually with electronics it does. It's a little bit more black and white there. So this one has Wi-Fi, DDR5, 4 PCIe slots. See, now the thing for me that I want to see is I like having two separate M.2 drives. I like to have one basically as my beefy drive, where I spend a little bit less money in data transfer, and the speed of it. We'll get into that here in a minute. And I spend more money in the amount of storage. So a 4 terabyte slower drive. And then I have my main one, which is where I install all my games, where it's usually like 2 terabyte, and all the games go on there, faster read write, just so things load a little bit quicker. So I want at least 2, which usually you just got to dig for a second. So this diagram is on most of them. The other thing I like to look at on motherboards is how many USB slots, because it's going to fill up quick. I promise. You got a mouse, keyboard, especially if you're a streamer. Oh my gosh, it fills up so fast. You got a mouse, keyboard, Stream Deck. Oh, if you have a capture card, like an external capture card, mine's internal. That'll be 4. So it fills up fast, man. Oh, external hard drive sometimes. I use that to transfer between computers. I record on this one, and I put it on that PC back there. But we're already at $661. But see, those two things, you do that, I promise you, over time, you can upgrade your PC. And it'll be a lot easier than it is with mine. Now, I'm kind of stuck. Like, the only thing I really want to upgrade in this PC is the motherboard and the CPU. And my last tip, let's try this with a voice. My last tip has to be... I'm just going to say it normal, that way you hear me. But tip number 4, the final tip, make sure you set time aside to do this. I don't think it's the longest thing in the world. It's not going to take you like 6-7 hours, but I would make sure you got the day, because you might need some troubleshooting. Maybe that's always a possibility. You know, first thing when you go to turn the PC on, don't forget the switch on the power supply, because a lot of people forget that. And they're like, why is it not turning on? There's a switch in the back. So don't forget that. I would make sure you set some time aside and just enjoy it. Kick back. It's going to be a little nerve-wracking. It's going to be a little frustrating at times because you can't figure out what to do next. But you'll enjoy it. And once it's all together, it's functioning, you're going to be like, man, that was so much fun. If there's any more tips you want to know, if you want to know kind of what's more in this PC or how I did it, let me know below. I may include some parts of me building this PC, but we'll see. So thank you guys very much for watching this video. Make sure to go check out my other videos, like the Mac Mini. That's the setup behind me. That's a big video that's going on right now on the channel. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Make sure, hit the like Hit the like button, please.